It is better for the sport with Conor here. Mm-hmm. It's better if Conor wins. Yeah. I do not think he is going to win them. I think it's just going to be a win if he doesn't look like absolute garbage.
Hold on, you think it's better if he wins?
Yes. It's better for the sport if he wins.
If Conor wins.
Yes.
God, it's like I like Max Holloway so much too. He's got to be one of my favorite fighters.
Yeah.
Super active, fun style, multiple weight classes, KOs people. I mean, his style's more blah, 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 eventually KO, but dude, he's got to be one of my favorite fighters to ever watch. But it's like Conor. I'm torn in half on what I think. I think Conor's going to look good, but I think Max will probably win.
I've said Conor. I think Conor's going to win. And it's because it's at welterweight. If it was at a lightweight, I would have picked Max. But Max got made to look small by Charles at lightweight. So imagine how much bigger Conor's going to be than him at welterweight. And getting it by a welterweight is much different than getting it by a lightweight.
I am going to go with the Hawaiian, Max Holloway, in either, I'm going to say late stoppage in this. I'm going to say probably round 4. I don't even think round 5 if Max wins. Could be a decision. If Conor truly comes in phenomenal shape and he can get through it all, maybe a decision. I'd love to see the final point
5 downs.
I'd love to see it, but I don't see it happening. I think if Max wins, I think it's going to be a late stoppage. I don't think early. I think Conor's going to be difficult and a pain in the ass to deal with in those first 10 minutes. And then I think he'll start to fade. And as he starts to crumble a little bit, I think Max will get it. Now, again, for this storyline, would love to see Conor come out and be able to pull some crazy shit off. But if I got to pick, I'm picking Max.
You know, people think that Max is just going to walk for him from the start. It ain't going to be that easy. He's going to have big problems early, and I think Max is going to give him that respect and not let him land them big shots. So maybe we don't see him be as successful as he could be if Max was just like, he's done and just wanted to be quite aggressive. He could definitely give Max some problems. Max is going to be clever enough where we won't really see that, but I still think that Conor will be dangerous enough where we're going to be like, oh shit, like, you know, Max needs to be careful, but I think he's going to do the right things to make them adjustments. I'm going to have to go Max Holloway for the win. Can it be a finish? 100%. If Max gets you tired, he's so good at going in for the kill.
I'm going with the Mac. I'm never going against it. I'm never going against Conor. Yeah, okay. No matter against, like, Max Holloway, massive fan, love him. He's a great fighter, and you know he's deserving of everything that he's gotten and all the praise. But I can't go against Conor.
Max Holloway, in my opinion, really, really good fighter, one of the best ever. Didn't look great in his last fight. Did not look great against Charles Oliveira at all. He looked like he kind of like was questioning whether he wanted to be there or not at points. But he was fighting a grappler, so you know, when it's all striking, which it probably will be with McGregor, I'm more favouring towards a McGregor win, to be honest.
If Conor McGregor was a grappler like Charles Oliveira, I'm like, I'm not a big fan of 170, but he's not. You know, is he going to have the power? Maybe, but at the same time, as the fight goes on, the power's going to dwindle. So if Max can just withstand a couple shots, he should be good. So I'm not really concerned about it being at 170. I think it's just, you know, these guys are fighting at their natural weight. But with all that being said, I'm going to have to go with the blessed one, Max Holloway. He's just been active, even though it's been ups and downs. I like the athlete who's been active. I think this matchup is great. Even though Conor McGregor beat him the very first time when they fought moons ago, I think Max Holloway is ready for this fight. I think he's excited for this fight.
For my pick, I'm going with Holloway. I think 5 years off, 5 years of drugs, it's going to be 5 years of recovery. It's going to be way too much for McGregor to come back. Holloway's hot. I think he's going to be motivated after that loss, and more motivated now, even after Justin won that fight, knowing that a bigger fight will be on the horizon. So, yeah, I'm picking Holloway, and I'm going with finish. I think he's going to hurt him to the body, catch him up top, and I'm going to go with TKO.
I think Max is going to win.
Okay.
I see a lot more ways in which Max is going to win. I kind of don't think that Max is like, what, a 4-1 favorite right now.
Big favorite, yeah.
Yeah, I kind of think that's a little unfair to Conor. I think Conor has a much better chance of beating Max than Justin had to beat Neely, and we saw what happened in that fight. I think Conor can win this fight for sure, but I see Max winning it more ways than Conor can, and I see Max just, Max is an absolute dog.
I just think that for Max Holloway, I think that this fight being at 170 pounds favors him because I think that he has a bigger frame. Like I said, he's as tall as me. I think he can carry that weight better, and he's always in shape. For Conor, I think the extra size is going to play against him. I think when the punches start to lose their snap, and if this fight gets into the later rounds, everything is going to become a lot more labored. I think that Conor McGregor loses this fight. I think that he might have his moments, but Max Holloway is just too seasoned.
I'm going to lean the way of Conor McGregor because I think Conor can win this fight, and I do think he can potentially stop Max Holloway within 15 minutes. The problem is, after 15 minutes, I see Max Holloway, even if he lost those first 3 rounds, he can come back and stop Conor McGregor within 10 minutes. His volume, his pressure, and when he sees a weakness, there's not many better fighters than Max Holloway who will see that weakness and poke at it and keep exploiting that until he gets the finish. Max is one of the toughest mentally, physically, spiritually fighters that I've ever seen. And I think it's going to be an amazing fight while it lasts. If it goes the distance, I think Holloway wins. If it doesn't, I see Conor McGregor getting the win. But I'm going the way of Conor. I like him in this underdog spot.
Yeah, I mean, listen, as much as I want to see something interesting, something compelling, something that we were talking crazy about on Monday, in a win by Conor McGregor, I just don't see it happening. I see Max getting this done with a decision, 5 rounds. I think he's going to take him 5 rounds and drown him.
Yeah, there might be a couple of troubling moments for Max Holloway, but ultimately he's seasoned enough to get through it. He beat Dustin Poirier, he beat Justin Gaethje, Chan Sung Jung, Arnold Allen, people like that. Yeah, he got clipped against Ilia Topuria, but he didn't go out. He saw it out of the first round like many people hadn't done. I think he survives the first round, and then I think it gets really hard, tough going, and I think McGregor's going to be lucky to see the final bell.
Ultimately, look, I'm going with the Max. I think a lot of people are, but I also look at it as his output will be difficult for Conor, especially the longer the fight goes on. You've got a 38-year-old, Conor McGregor, a 37, 38-year-old Conor McGregor, who's trying to keep up with Max, who's been fighting the best guys, has such a high output, so much volume, and the relaxation he can fight with because he doesn't have to worry about being taken down.
If we get to round 3, say Conor wins the first 2 rounds in blowouts, I suspect Max wins the last 3. That's just my guess. So I think it's tough, and so it sounds like I'm kind of not giving Conor a chance. I don't necessarily know that it's fair. We're putting him in a very unfair spot. But what else do you do with him?
I'm going to be backing Max. But I think he gets it done. He's been battle tested a lot. He's been in the game. He's had these 5-round fights. He's had to grind through it. I think getting comfortable outside of fighting and being away from it so long is really going to impact Conor. Especially a guy I feel like his superpower when he was coming in, obviously his swagger and his ability and striking power and prowess is undeniable. But I think he was hungry. He had a real starved look in his eye when he was tearing through people, and I feel that was a superpower that disappeared when he made $100 million.
I think it's gonna be a good fight with Max. Like I've been saying, I'm riding with Max. I'm betting the house on Max. I think Max is gonna make it non-competitive. At some point, after like a minute or 2 in the fight, Max is just gonna take over. Yeah. All the experience that he's put together in these 5 years, staying in shape is the number one thing, as we all know as fighters. If you got a Ferrari versus a Honda Civic, the Ferrari has a quarter tank of gas, it's gonna lose every time. So I think Max just gets it done, man.
And there's no telling what kind of Conor's gonna show up, and is Matt gonna kick his legs or not? Is it gonna like a mutual gentleman's agreement? I'm not gonna try to fuck your legs up, because I told myself if I fight Conor, I'm not gonna kick his legs, just out of respect, and I'm willing to make a gentleman's agreement like that. And so those are all things in question. It's at 170, where it favors Conor more for in terms of weight and carrying that. I say 50-50. I'd say 50-50. Like, where he's got that one shot put you out. He's really slick. And when they fought, it was at 45, where he didn't have so much of the pop, And so I think this one's going to be different. I'd say 50-50.
Man, I grew up watching Conor McGregor. What an honor it is to be on the same card as him. He's an OG. He's a legend. So is Max Holloway. As much as I would love to say Conor, I got to go with Max on this one.
I gotta go with Max Holloway too, but I have to admit that over the last couple of days, I've been kind of getting pulled in that Conor McGregor direction. But I was also the guy that by the time when the Mayweather fight with Conor McGregor was made, I thought it was a joke. Connor's going to get killed. And then by the time fight day came, I was like, I don't know. I think he has a chance. He's got the power. He's bigger than him. And of course I was wrong. So I'm going with Max. That's where I'm putting it. I think that's a safe bet.
I think the thought process is most people see that Conor's been out for a long time, and going back to what we were just talking about, like, is he going to be ready? Is he going to be the Conor McGregor that we used to see, or is it just too far gone? So I think there's a lot of doubt in people's mind with that. Man, I agree that there is a chance Holloway is going to take this fight. I think he's going to stop him.
Yeah.
I think.
You're fighting Max Holloway, who is not the same cat that you fought early on in your career. And Max does well in rematches on top of that. You know what I mean? So I think at the end of the day, I know I'm just rambling here, but Max Holloway is the guy that I'm going with. I can't pick against him.
That fight happens. Conor wins, which I think Max is winning that fight.
Yeah.
But if Conor wins, Justin Gaethje, that's
wants that big money fight.
Why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
And I think he I mean, dude.
What they gonna do? They gonna put the Charles Oliveira versus Gaethje or Conor McGregor if he wins, but I don't think so. He can win Max Holloway. Yeah, but it's me, and I wanna beat Justin Gaethje. I wanna beat everybody.
He needs all the help he can get in different. I'm going to start with this. I'm going to start with a place that Teddy Atlas would start with. That is not the place that probably someone else might start with. I'm going to start with Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier. The great Muhammad Ali. Some people think the greatest of all time. Especially in heavyweights. But the great, no disputing the greatness of Muhammad Ali. The great Muhammad Ali was gone out of the sport for 3.5 years. He couldn't do it. You could see the erosion from the inactivity. So if the great Ali couldn't do it with all the things I just laid out there and only 3.5 years, how the freak is McGregor going to do it? I'm not betting against Holloway.
I think Max Holloway is going to fucking silence the room or enlighten the room, whichever way the fans look at it. But I think to be away from this sport at the highest level for as long as Conor McGregor has, and to jump back in with a fight of the caliber, a proper BMF like Max Holloway, who's fresh, been active, looks as good as he's ever looked, that's a huge task for Conor to take on. And I don't think any man, even someone with the ambition and the confidence of Conor McGregor, is capable of doing it. So I've got Max by knockout in sensational fashion.
I'm picking Holloway, guys, because it's a 5-rounder. I'm giving a slight edge to Holloway. I'm going to call it 51-49. Why? McGregor can knock him out. McGregor is going to be huge. Is it going to translate to punching power? I don't know, but he's doing it at 170. Now, here's the thing. When you're that muscular, when you're that overbuilt, it could backfire. You can gas out faster. Those big, juicy muscles, they need a lot of air. They need a lot of oxygen. So you're punching and you're throwing all your might. He might gas himself out.
I'm going McGregor every day of the week.
I'm taking McGregor.
The return of the Mac. This guy doesn't come back unless the cards are stacked in his favour.
True.
He's coming back and he's going to put on a show and he's going to remember everybody why he's the guy everybody's missed.
Yeah.
Man, I think Holloway's going to do this. I think he's going to stay composed, go out there, Stomped the lead leg of McGregor quite a bit. McGregor's going to do it. What's that? What's that? He's going to be pulling out all the fucking classic McGregor emotes from your favorite McGregor fight. A little clap with his hands in front of Holloway. Wide, Chuck Norris style, yeah? I'm going to come out there, wide hands, Chuck Norris style, yeah? And say, what have you got? And you'll do nothing. You know what I mean? He's going to have all of it. But I think Holloway still wins. I think Holloway's going to smirk at it, laugh at it. We did what we did, brother.
Right? I don't have a dog in the fight. Yeah. I just want to see a good fight. I want to see him healthy, and I want to see him go out and be able to compete and put on a good show.
5 years out, though.
It's tough.
Injuries, all the other stuff that he's done. More often than not, that doesn't go well.
Right.
Do you lean Max?
I lean Max.
Okay.
Definitely. Just because of all those scenarios, right? But, like, I think a committed, focused Conor McGregor is very dangerous.
And everyone's praying. We see Conor come out. Look what he did to Jose Aldo. Look what he did to these guys. It's this huge moment. The last time Conor made that walk, he left there in a
stick broken half.
It was the worst night of his life, and he thought he was so prepared. So he's going to be battling some serious demons. 5 years, and you're making that walk again against a guy who's an expert for 5 rounds. If I had to guess, if I had to put money on it, I think Max beats him by a decision.